Hello and welcome back to our feature match table here, well, the commentator desk. We're here with our feature match winner. Congratulations.
Thanks.
How was that game for you?
Well, the first card to hit the table was Draconic Diagram, and typically you would think that it's a 2 Draco deck,
Yeah.
which is one of my hardest matchups, so
Oh,
I was very afraid.
Yeah.
I got that matchup in the featured match especially, and yeah, I turned out to be lucky, and she ran dinos.
Yeah. So when you did finally realize that it was dinosaurs, what was your reaction? Did you think this is a better matchup? So obviously you said it is, but is it good enough for you to think, okay, this is totally fine?
Well, I think it's one of my better matchups. I think it goes in favor of Paleosaurics, but if they draw like Soul Charge or something, then there might be nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So I think anything could happen.
Yeah. After you saw that amazing start from her as well, what was going through your mind? So you find out it's dinosaurs, but then suddenly you see this amazing start that Estonita had.
Well, the first turn board was Calamities and a Trishula who already used this effect. And Calamities is usually fine versus decks like Pendulum, but versus Rocks who just set lots of traps, it's not very effective. So I considered myself lucky that she didn't go into Antiplatnia in the first game like she did in the second when she adapted.
Yeah. You mentioned, of course, the second game. You were sat in that her second turn, staring down more than 8,000 attack points. How did you feel in that moment?
Well, I picked up the Giant Rex to read, so she would realize that I know it can't attack directly because players try to do that. And I was holding Torrential, so I was banking on her summoning more monsters so I could get rid of the field, and it happened to work out.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you come to decide that Paleozoic and Frogs were the right choice for this event?
Well, historically, the trap decks featuring Bidimensional Barrier and Anti-Spell have a pretty good matchup versus Pendulum decks, which I expect to be very common today, and they are. So I chose this. Also, I didn't really like playing mirror matches with Pendulums, and yeah, I just don't enjoy the Pendulum deck itself very much. So I was looking for an alternative.
Yeah, sometimes the deck that you enjoy the most and is reasonably successful anyway is the one that you can have the most success with.
Yeah, that's how it went today.
Yeah.
With that said, we're coming towards the end of the tournament. You have one more round to play through before we cut to the top 32 players. Is there anything at this point that you're feeling like you wish you'd changed with the deck list?
Well, so far it's been going well, so I wouldn't change it. But if I lose, then I probably would change.
It's my favorite question because that's the same mindset. Some people say, "Oh, I'm winning, so it's going great," but some people are like, "Oh, yeah, this has been bad. This has been bad."
Yeah, I've noticed a couple of cards that are pretty subpar.
Yeah.
But there were also situations where they won game. So
yeah, that's all it takes sometimes is for that one card to win that one game, and it's been worth it for the whole tournament. What about your side deck? Has there been any cards that you've just not played? Generally, that's where I see sometimes players say, "Oh yeah, I didn't play any of these cards."
Well, I was lucky enough to not face a single Draco deck until now. So the cards I have specifically for that matchup, I never procced in, but they are there just in case.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You may face them next round.
Okay. So on the main deck again, you've chosen to play Pot of Desires, but we see no Card of Demise. Card of Demise, a mainstay of a lot of Paleozoic decks. What went through your mind when you decided that it's not the right card for this deck?
Well, Demise is a pretty good card on its own, but the thing I really disliked about it was the lack of synergy with Dynamiscus, because Demise forces you to discard your entire hand. You're not allowed to lose Mind Crush or Dynamiscus on the following turn. And I wanted to avoid it as much as possible, especially with evenly matched being very common. I wanted to have Mind Crush as an out to that.
Okay.
And Demise doesn't allow it.
That's cool. It's a cool choice. All right, so thank you very much for the feature match, and congratulations on your win. So I think that now means that you need to win just one more. And
one more round, hopefully, and I'll make top card.
Well, fingers crossed. So we're going to be right back with our final round of Swiss here at YCS Bochum 2018. Stay tuned.